This is the formulation of a chemical some of us in Union Carbide call liquid dynamite.
This is the story of the world's most devastating industrial disaster.
What the hell is going on? A massive leak in the MIC storage area. Take all precautions.
20 years ago, an American-owned factory spewed poisonous gas across a densely populated Indian city. 8,000 people were killed. Over 200,000 injured.
The company says it doesn't know what caused the accident.
This is the story of why it happened and how it could have been avoided. It's a story of betrayal, an American dream that turned into an Indian nightmare with a terrifying legacy.
How are you? So, who have you been chatting to?
I was talking to the American guy.
Oh, Mr. Union Carbide. So, what did you tell him?
I told him about my medical degree.
Oh, really?
I told him I was looking for a job and even asked him about working at the Union Carbide.
Oh, so what did he have to say?
It was all very impressive. He told me about Union Carbide being one of the biggest companies in the world, with hundreds of factories in 40 countries and about thousands of people working under them.
What do these people do, Kumkum?
Everything from metals, chemicals, antifreeze, batteries, you know those ever-ready batteries?
Oh, yes. But what are they doing in our little Bhopal?
Well, he says to get a little American know-how to India.
Union Carbide are a great American corporation, and in the 60s and 70s they promoted a dream: to make pesticides that would protect crops and help feed the world's hungry millions. They decide to pursue their dream in the city of Bhopal, in the heart of India, a vast, lucrative market for their new product, Sevin. To manufacture the pesticide, Union Carbide first have to produce the main ingredient, a chemical called methyl isocyanate, or MIC. Bhopal will be home to a giant new factory to make MIC. Union Carbide are so excited that their corporation's chairman, Warren Anderson, visits India to officially open the plant. It's a massive investment for the company. American and Indian engineers work together to make it state-of-the-art. As the factory's medical officer, Kumkum Saxena is part of this beacon of scientific enterprise.
When I got the job, I just thought that this is the best thing that ever happened to me. I did feel this is a Carbide family, and we were also proud to be Carbiders.
Part of Kumkum's job is to understand the chemicals her fellow Carbiders handle. She has toxicology reports sent from the company's American headquarters.
That monothalamine equals MIC. MIC is volatile, unpredictable, and fatal if inhaled.
There is a dark side to the dream. MIC is one of the most toxic and lethal substances known to man. But for the people of Bhopal, many of whom live in poverty, Union Carbide simply promises progress and prosperity. They also pay the best wages in town.
1, 2, 3.
Harry Chand, please let them get dressed.
That's another 4.
They're going to be late.
They're my cricket team. They need to practice. And Imran. He'll be a great batsman one day.
You mean a great doctor?
Oh yes, doctor. Great doctor too.
Mehbooba's husband, Chand Khan, is a Union Carbide maintenance man. His job keeps the family afloat in a city where work is hard to find.
I was happy. We had a lovely home, the children went to school, and I would look after the house. It was a good time.
All right. This is the formulation of a chemical some of us in Union Carbide call liquid dynamite. But you know of it as?
Methyl isocyanate, sir. MIC.
Indeed. And what do we know of its stability?
Sir, when cool, fine. But when heated, very dangerous.
And what's the most dangerous way of heating it?
When in contact with water, sir.
Correct. Its reaction when in contact with water is especially violent.
But what if something goes wrong, sir?
Talk to Suman here. He's the one in control.
Suman Day is proud of his job. A young science graduate, he is a control room operator in the MIC unit. He believes Union Carbide safety systems will keep the chemical cool and safe.
I knew it was a good company, an American company, and we didn't fear MIC. We were very confident handling it. We thought it wasn't a problem. Whatever happened, we could deal with it.
In Union Carbide corporate speak, safety and profit go hand in hand.
Good business practice requires the establishing of goals aimed at reducing personnel injuries and the minimization of monetary losses due to accidents.
But in Bhopal, there is an ominous sign of things to come. A small leak of phosgene gas is inhaled by maintenance worker Ashraf Khan. Kumkum rushes him to hospital. With them is Ashraf's close friend Chand.
It's Ashraf. He died. It was a gas leak. It was all his fault. He was silly. He took his mask off when he shouldn't have.
I don't want you working there. That place is dangerous. I want you to get another job.
I'm more careful than he is.
It doesn't matter. That place is dangerous. We argued. I wanted him to leave his job. He said he would, but then said he didn't know how we'd cope. I said we'd manage, but I couldn't persuade him to leave.
Kumkum discovers Ashraf has suffered a massive pulmonary edema. His lungs collapsed and he is slowly drowned in his own bodily fluids.
This was the first patient in my life that had died, a young man that had died of a chemical exposure. And I
was extremely distressed by it.
Kumkum is now struck by a new anxiety. Thousands have set up home in shanty towns around the factory. Thousands more live nearby in the old city.
This whole place was filled with humanity. It was deeply concerning that these people lived in such close proximity to a chemical plant. I thought this was a perfect setting for a disaster.
Now what about...
9-year-old Shahid Noor and his family live just half a mile from Union Carbide. His father Mohammed is a small businessman with a contract to mow the grass at the factory.
Whenever there was any function at the factory, we would get an invitation. We used to go to all the events. We had a great time. We knew so many people who worked at the factory. We were always in and out of there.
Despite their connections with the factory, Shahid and his family know nothing about its hazardous chemicals. They believe Union Carbide makes medicine for plants, the Hindi translation of the word pesticide. Kumkum's worries grow. She has already seen the chemicals claim one life. She decides to raise her concerns with her supervisor.
You're overreacting, Kumkum.
Overreacting? But there's 20,000 people living on our doorstep.
So?
So? We have no idea what to do if something goes wrong. The Americans have special emergency and evacuation plans, and they're in touch with the local authorities, and we've got nothing.
But they're Americans. We're Indians, yeah?
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. Nothing. Look, don't worry. I'll speak to them. Let's see what they have to say. But I won't make any promises. Okay?
I was telling them that the time has come that we have to make an evacuation plan with the city authorities. We have to tell them what these chemicals can do.
Kumkum's concerns about the lack of emergency plans are ignored by her senior manager.
He was always scared of creating panic amongst the workmen and the public, and he was scared that the very existence of carbide might be at stake if he created panic. I was very disappointed. I was very disappointed and disillusioned.
The company is unwilling to listen, so Kumkum quits. But by 1984, Union Carbide faces a major problem. Stricken by drought, the poor farmers of India are not buying its miracle pesticide 7. Boxes are returned unsold. In just 4 years, Bhopal, the great hope of Union Carbide in India, has gone from potential money spinner to financial liability. Behind the scenes, they start to cut costs. Around a third of the workforce are fired, and production of their pesticides is slowed down. In Suman Dey's MIC unit, safety systems are scaled back. Safety checks are made less frequently. But the company's Indian chairman maintains a confident facade. 1984 is a time to celebrate. Union Carbide has been doing business in India for 50 years.
Looking into the crystal ball, I foresee a steady and continuous growth for our company. I am very proud of the way you have so finely blended the imperatives of a corporate entity with the needs of the communities you serve. Let us all endeavor to make this Golden Jubilee year a momentous one.
And then suddenly, the lights went out. A snake came out of the prince's mouth. And another snake came out of his ears. Well, they all kept sitting there till dawn.
The kids are asleep. I'm off.
Okay, see you in the morning.
In the evening, maintenance man Chand heads off for the night shift. Shahid Noor and his family, who live in the shadow of the plant, settle for the night.
Mom, Dad! Come! It started!
What's happening? Did I miss something?
Shh!
What's happening?
Shh! The head of the family has spoken.
Union Carbide Control Room Supervisor Suman Day is arriving for duty. He is alone. Money is tight, and the number of supervisors has been halved.
The joys of a night shift.
Outside in the plant, a routine job is underway. Earlier, another worker, Rehman Khan, had started to clean the insides of pipes leading to the MIC storage tanks. He fired a jet of water through the system. But Khan's worksheet lacked a vital instruction. He had to use a small piece of equipment, a slip bind. This metal plate should be inserted in the joints between pipes to stop any leaking valves letting water into the MIC tanks. Water that could create a violent runaway reaction. But there are leaking valves, and with no slip bind in place, there is nothing to stop water pouring into MIC tank E610. As water pours in, the temperature starts to rise. A catastrophic chain of events has started. A refrigeration system should keep the MIC cool and slow the reaction, but it is switched off. This is the first of 4 key safety systems that will fail to avert disaster. In the control room, Suman Day receives a call from an engineer.
There's a whiff of MIC. Where? Is it strong? We should check it out. Yes. After their tea. Yeah, obviously. After their tea.
The boiled cabbage-like smell of MIC is the first sign of trouble. A team search for its source. Inside the tank, the temperature is now well over 200 degrees. The poisonous liquid is turning into lethal gas, looking for an escape.
Huh. You still can't find the leak? What do you mean it's too strong to stand out there? Is it that bad?
Second safety system, a gas scrubber, could neutralize the MIC with caustic soda, but it is only on standby.
There is a massive leak in the MIC storage area. Take all precautions. I repeat, a massive leak in the MIC storage area. Take all precautions.
But the alarm is barely heard in the sleeping city. It is quickly turned off by plant managers. They don't want panic. This is the third safety precaution to fail. At the plant, Suman Day is engulfed in a dense cloud of toxic MIC fumes.
I thought I was trapped. I thought I was in serious trouble. At that moment, I thought I was going to die.
But he is lucky and finds an area clear of gas. There is a fourth safety device that might still prevent disaster by burning off the gas as it escapes. But the flare tower is not working. The gas is now blowing toward the sleeping city. Heavier than air, the gas forms a low toxic cloud. It silently drifts into the open windows of the shantytown.
I thought someone was burning chili. Then I heard people screaming and saw them running everywhere. I didn't know what to do. I thought about running, but how could I run? I had all my young children with me. I couldn't run anywhere.
Swaraj Puri, Bhopal's police chief, is settling down for the night. No one from the company calls to say there is a problem, and even if they had, he has no plans for such an emergency.
Swaraj?
Don't worry, it's okay. Go back to sleep.
There was this person coming and trying to give me a shout that something is wrong in the town. He said there's bedlam in the city, there is some kind of panic happening.
Excuse me, what is happening?
The police chief walks into the chaos as thousands of terrified people flee.
Please, what the hell is going on?
I observed on the other side of this moving crowd a young mother holding onto a baby. You know, trying to hold onto the baby kind of in that rush, slipping out of her hands. I picked up that small baby from there. It was crushed to death.
No one knows if it is better to shelter indoors or run for their lives. Young Shahid's family decide to split up.
Shahid, promise me one thing. You will always read the Quran.
We left 4 people from our family at home. My mother, grandfather, my younger brother and younger sister. My father made the decision that we should run towards the station. He thought from there, we would be able to get a train away from the city.
Yep. It's chief of the police. There has been a gas leak from the Union Carbide plant. Swaraj Puri here. Yes, you are right. There has been a gas leak.
The deadly gas begins to take a grip. As people inhale the noxious fumes, they struggle for air. They vomit violently, their eyes burn. MIC breaks down the walls of the lungs, causing foam to ooze from their mouths. Many will die drowning in their own fluids. Pregnant women suffer convulsions and extreme stomach pains. Many miscarry. Because it is heavier than air, some gas travels low to the ground. Children run through some of the densest patches. There is one person in Bhopal who knows what to do. Kumkum, the former medical officer of Union Carbide.
Hello? Ali from Carbide. Look, don't go out. Don't go anywhere. Cover all doors and windows with damp cloth. to stop any gas from coming in. And if you have to go out, go in the opposite direction of the wind.
Those simple steps could have saved thousands of lives. But Union Carbide had never made public what to do in the event of a leak.
It's Puri. Yeah, now listen to me carefully. Get onto the hospitals and tell them to expect many, many patients. Yeah. I don't know, maybe hundreds or maybe thousands. Tell them that they would be coughing, throwing up, and their eyes will sting like hell. Yep. Yes, so do it now.
Bhopal's hospital is overwhelmed. Union Carbide now tell doctors the gas is a mere irritant and advise using milk, eggs, water and eye drops as treatments. At this stage, the company provide no information about the composition of the gas or any antidote. Desperate to find out what exactly is killing people, pathologists start autopsies. Most tell the same horrific story: the fluid-filled, collapsed lungs of pulmonary edema. Along with thousands of others, Shahid and his father, Muhammad, fight their way to the train station.
Wait. Get onto the truck, yeah? Get onto the truck.
When we reached the station, it was so crowded you could hardly walk. No trains were arriving or leaving. Then a truck turned up. The driver said, "Get in. As many as can fit in, just get in. We are all going to leave here."
Safely on the truck, Shahid and his father seem to have escaped the horror. But there is worse to come. Mehboob is still alone with her children. For 4 hours they have been exposed to the gas. As dawn approaches, there is still no sign of her husband, Chand, the Union Carbide maintenance worker. By morning, the gas finally stops leaking. As she walks to the hospital, the nightmare Kumkum feared unfolds before her eyes. Hospital staff try to bring some order to the chaos. They catalogue the dead. Many of the dead are never identified. Whole families have perished. Officially, 3,000 have died. Most other estimates put it between 8 and 10,000. No one knows for sure. Up to 500,000 have suffered from exposure to the gas.
The more you saw of the dead, the more the numbers mounted. The more you saw mothers and sisters wailing over their dead brothers and husbands, more you felt, what kind of society is this? What kind of industrialization is this?
The gas has left Mehboob almost blind. Her husband Chand eventually makes it back from Union Carbide.
I felt happy when he came home. I thought he is safe and well. And I was thinking, nothing must happen to the children.
But unable to see, Mehboob doesn't know it is too late for their youngest child.
I didn't realize the baby was dead. A mother loves all of her children equally, no matter how many you have. And the pain when one of them dies is unbearable.
The first black and white film arrived in the United States this morning. Thousands of people have fled the city, which was strewn with the bodies of human beings and animals.
All attention is on Bhopal. It is the world's worst industrial disaster, a huge man-made tragedy.
Victims were cremated until the fuel ran out, then mass burials began.
Union Carbide's executives gather in emergency session.
But officials say the air still contains pockets of isocyanate, which can quickly kill and can blind and sicken its survivors. The company says it doesn't know what caused the accident.
Rumors of more gas sweep the stunned city. People who live near the plant refuse to go home, but Swaraj Puri has to stop his city descending into anarchy.
Listen, listen, suniye bhaiyo behno, suniye, listen. I'm your chief of the police. The gas is finished. It is over. Now you all can go back to your homes, okay? It is safe. I will lead you back to the city. And if there is any gas left, I'll be the first person to die. Now you all follow me. Mere piche aaiye, come on. Come on, follow me.
We at Union Carbide are saddened by the incident at our plant in Bhopal, India.
And Union Carbide has corporate concerns too.
Urgent telex for Union Carbide India Limited. I need answers to the following questions. What does Union Carbide India estimate to be its total potential financial liability for injury/death of people arising out of the MIC incident? Is it likely that the affected parties would seek damages in court action in India? If so, what damages would a court be likely to grant for injury or death?
In Bhopal and beyond, the death toll is still mounting. Shahid Noor has escaped to the family village. His father Mohammed became ill on the journey and was taken to hospital. In the village, he hopes his mother, who has stayed behind, will join them.
When we got back, we found a priest at home. He said he had come to perform a ceremony to thank our mother for her milk. It was only then that I realized that my mother had died. I had no idea until then.
Within hours, his father is also dead from the effects of the gas.
We all felt we had no hope and no chance of surviving this. We thought one by one, we were all going to die. And we never knew who would leave us next.
Union Carbide's chairman, Warren Anderson, decides to make a grand gesture. He will return to Bhopal to the plant he opened in celebration just 4 years earlier. Police Chief Swaraj Puri is told to meet him on arrival.
Hello? Yes, sir. Sir. So what time is he arriving in Bhopal? Okay, sir. Fine, sir. Thank you.
Anderson was asking, can you tell me what's wrong? What happened? My first response to him was, Mr. Anderson, you should know what happened. It's a company you hate. Most of the time there was silence.
Puri escorts Anderson to a Union Carbide guest house, but he has a surprise for the head of the American multinational.
Can you tell us exactly who you've arrested, sir? Huh? Can you tell us exactly who you've arrested?
Mr. Gokhale, Mr. Manohar, and Mr. Anderson. These are the 3 names they've given us.
You've arrested Mr. Anderson,
yes.
the world chairman?
Yes, yes.
I was convinced I was doing the right thing in arresting these people. I was absolutely convinced. Because I had lived through those 3-4 horrifying days.
Whether I was arrested, house arrest, no arrest, bail, no bail, I'm free to go home.
But within a few hours of his arrest, and after the intervention of the US government, Warren Anderson is released on bail.
We'll see you. Take care.
He immediately returns to America. Three weeks after the disaster, Union Carbide's senior doctor issues a reassuring press release.
Dr. Bipin Avashi said respiratory problems were treated successfully with conventional cough syrups and drugs. He added that of the surviving victims with pulmonary edema, many would improve within 3 weeks.
In fact, Union Carbide knew that gas victims might suffer for many years to come. In 1983, just 1 year before the disaster, Union Carbide gave their chemicals a number from 1 to 4. The higher the number, the more dangerous the chemical. MIC was a 4.
Industrial hygiene monitoring corporate guidelines. Rating 4. Substances that are known human carcinogens.
In Bhopal today, there is an abnormal incidence of skin, lung, and gastrointestinal cancers.
Substances that result in genetic mutation, birth defects, or fertility impairment in humans.
In Bhopal, many women experience serious menstrual problems. Miscarriages are 7 times the national average. Some of today's generation of children have genetic defects.
Substances that result in irreversible central nervous system disturbances. Substances that result in long-term organ toxicity that is irreversible.
Today, many of Bhopal's survivors suffer problems of poor coordination, memory loss, paralysis, partial blindness, and impaired immune systems. Mehbub's son, Imran, died 3 years after his exposure to the gas. In 1999, her husband Chand died after years of illness and depression.
The gas leak took away my children, my husband, my life, my home. I'm in a constant state of grief. Then I think, am I the culprit? Is Allah punishing me for something I have done?
Since 1984, close to 10,000 more people have died of gas-related illnesses. Currently, 1 person in Bhopal dies every day from the effects of the gas. Union Carbide have never accepted culpability for the disaster. They claim the plant was run by their Indian subsidiary, and their own investigation concluded that the disaster had been caused by sabotage. But just a few months before the disaster, an internal safety report for Union Carbide's American MIC plant warned of just such a calamity.
The team classifies as a major concern the potential for a runaway reaction in the MIC unit storage tank. Real potential for a serious incident exists.
The report was never sent to Bhopal's managers. India was not warned that America feared water could enter the MIC tanks and cause a catastrophic runaway reaction. Kumkum Saxena left Bhopal in 1985 and moved to America, where she is a doctor. Suman Day lost his job when the plant closed in 1985. Today, he runs a small workshop. His dreams of a career in a prestigious multinational shattered the night tank E610 leaked its MIC. Under a legal settlement agreed with Union Carbide, victims of the gas received compensation averaging £320, around £1.25 per month since the disaster. Shahid Noor, the young boy orphaned by the disaster, received compensation for the loss of his parents, but it ran out long ago. Today, he helps out in a clinic that treats gas survivors.
That night destroyed the lives of 3 generations of my family. My father had a degree. Today, my children don't go to school. They can't even read and write. Our standard of living has gone back 50 years. It will take us another 50 years to catch up.
Swaraj Puri is still a senior police officer in Bhopal. Today, he suffers from serious breathing problems.
There is this lingering thought which keeps coming back to you over and over again, that I really wished Mr. Anderson had lived in Bhopal that time, have been through what we've been through, seen what we saw, suffered what we did.
Warren Anderson has never returned to India to face charges. He moves between his upmarket homes in Florida and the Hamptons. He is a fugitive from justice. The Indian authorities are still seeking his extradition on manslaughter charges. In a statement, Union Carbide said that they believe they have provided substantial assistance to the people of Bhopal, including a hospital built from the proceeds of the sale of their shares in the subsidiary, Union Carbide India. They also say that they have learned important safety lessons from the disaster. But if today's chairman of Union Carbide were to visit Bhopal, would he see a city at peace?
He will see nothing but destruction. He will see helpless people, sick people, jobless people, people with no aim. However, we still enjoy the small things in life and cherish whatever happiness we can get. If he were to look in my eyes, he would see anger and hope at the same time.